Good day. Is everybody already in the meeting?
Yes, sir. Everybody is in the meeting at the moment.
Okay, good. Before we start, let's start with introducing ourselves first. And please familiarize yourself with your teammates in this meeting. To start, I'm Joshua G. Bitancor, the Chief Executive Officer of this Mapua Corporation. I will be your team leader, and we're going to discuss how we're going to apply a work from home environment in this company due to this pandemic. And here with us is the owner of the company.
Good morning to you all. I am Mr. Remote, the founder of this company. I am putting my trust to all of you, but rest assured that amidst this pandemic, we're still going to operate virtually.
And I am Madelaine Indino, the secretary of this company.
Good morning. My name is Jazelle David and I am the chairman of the board.
Hello. As you all know, I am Josef Catiggay. I am the vice chairman of the board.
Good morning. I am Ckyle Casumpang, the committee chair.
Hello, I'm Ronald Estella, the treasurer of the board.
Hello and good morning to all. My name is Pauline Sta Cruz and I am a board member.
May I start off? Okay. So our agenda for today is to effectively employ strategies that would make the work from home scheme more effective and productive at the same time despite this pandemic.
We truly never realized that not all of us could turn this situation into productive life and work scheme. However, we must continue serving our mission to keep this company thriving and ensure that our goals are still achieved, now more than ever.
That's right. With that, I have prepared a progress plan on how to effectively practice this work from home scheme, and we have decided to make some compromises for the comfort of everyone.
I think that's interesting. Why don't we take a look at your progress plan?
The progress plan will be presented by our secretary. Ms. Indino, take it away. She will also be our minutes taker.
Thank you, sir. So based on our progress plan, we have to employ a new set of schedules and shift as we have to consider each other's availability. Our board committee and our board treasurer will only have to report at least twice a week to update us regarding their matters. Other board members will have to make a presence of at least thrice a week to actively participate in our meetings and agendas.
As your board treasurer, I would keep our finances updated and checked, as well as the queue that's been going on to make sure that the budget goes to its proper places and to be able to monitor budget constraints as the pandemic impacts our profits.
We guarantee as board members to have a keen eye on our company's development as well as the state of our affiliates in utmost priority so that we could develop stronger connections and establish clear goals.
Every board member's presence will always be required in every meeting. Please be responsible enough in participating. If there will be any emergencies or urgent matters, but let's hope no emergencies will happen, please inform the secretary days or hours before the scheduled meeting.
Ms. Indino, please inform me about the schedule of the meeting and I will attend regularly so that I can be updated on every matter in this company. And to all the board members, inform all of our employees about this work from home scheme that we are going to apply.
May I just ask, how about our employees that don't have laptops or even internet connections at home?
I think we should provide them with the company's tablets. In terms of internet connection, I suggest that we give them a loaded mobile Wi-Fi, which is good for 1 month. We might spend a lot for this, but let's also think that there will be benefits for this company.
I am in favor of that suggestion. Let's not think about the money we're spending. It's more important to know the outcomes once we provide them tablets and mobile Wi-Fis. However, how are we going to distribute it to them?
Yes, and since we don't have any delivery services in our company, there are couriers we can call that can distribute it to our employees. But how about the money? I think we're going to spend again on this matter.
Maybe let's just think of this as an investment. Besides, we're going to operate and apply a work from home scheme, and Investpagnebec is an investment in which the whole company will benefit from.
I like that investment mindset of yours, Mr. Estella. Let's also think that this will be our form of support for our employees' wellness, even at home. They won't be stressing themselves out on how they can work from home if they don't have a gadget or an internet connection.
In this case, Miss Indino, we have all the contact numbers of our employees, right?
Yes, sir, we have all of their updated contacts.
Okay, we have to send them emails, texts, or even give them a call to have a survey on who are the employees that are in need of tablets or mobile Wi-Fi.
I might inform some of the members of the board for that matter, sir.
Okay, you may do so. But if anyone wants to volunteer, feel free to say it.
I'm volunteering for the survey. This is the least that I can do for the committee.
Thank you, Miss Santa Cruz. We appreciate you for volunteering.
I'm going to help in doing the survey as well, so that I can also monitor how much we're going to spend for the mobile Wi Fi.
What if we make a policy about this lending of tablets and the company providing the mobile Wi-Fi?
More of like a company and employee agreement.
You got it right. Because we are not sure when this pandemic will end. We might have more expense than profit in the end.
I was thinking of that earlier. We might have more employees who need tablets and internet connections than we are expecting. It's better to be ready by making a policy or agreement about this, especially the internet connection.
I'm thinking we'll do the provision of the internet connection for at most 3 months. After that, our employees should pay for their mobile Wi-Fi. In terms of the tablet, they should keep it until the end of the pandemic.
We should make a policy about lending of our company's tablets. And if one policy is violated, then there should be appropriate penalties.
Please rest assured that I'll take note of these tentative policies and agreements.
Let's discuss more about this at the next meeting. Maybe tomorrow. Our agenda for today is about the strategies on implementing the work from home scheme. So maybe let's proceed.
Okay, let's proceed with the strategies on how we can implement this work from home scheme and make it effective. I have a thought in my mind. Let's have an information technology helpline. With this helpline, our employees can call anytime whenever they encounter a problem.
I like that idea of helpline. Unforeseen problems may come up. Technologically speaking, once we implement this work from home scheme. So, are there any opinions or suggestions for this IT helpline?
We have an IT department in our company, right? Why don't we assign it to them? However, thinking about that, how are they going to receive calls if they too are also working from home?
Maybe let's just assign 2 to 3 people in the IT department who can take the calls by their phone numbers. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's more possible to assign 2 to 3 people than making the whole IT department take the calls, since they also have the work to do aside from the IT helpline that we are going to carry out.
So, I guess we're going to go with that suggestion. Moving on, another strategy that I can think of is making communication protocols with our employees. Aside from having a team meeting regularly for different agendas, we should also have a check-in protocols with our people. It is for us to monitor whether they have adapted to this work from home scheme or they still find it difficult.
I like that idea of yours. When we implement this work from home scheme in our company, we should also be able to think about the wellness and welfare of our employees. It should be our utmost priority because we're still in a pandemic.
By that suggestion, we should require all of our employees to install a software application so that everyone will be connected, just like what we are doing now here in Zoom.
Ask the head of the IT department to install Zoom on all company property that will be lended. and to put out a memo on how to install Zoom on our employees' personal property should they not receive a tablet from the company.
Okay, I'll take note of that online platform protocol, as we now have the need to do it regularly.
Yeah, it is also important that we think of our employees even if they're working from home. Now, does anyone have additional suggestions on how we can improve our work from home scheme?
What about the working hours? Will we still require our employees to still work from 9 to 5? Or are we going to allow them to manage their own time?
For individual workload, I think that we can be more lenient on the working hours, for as long as the job is done on or before the set deadline.
I agree with that. Since employees are at home anyways, it is difficult or maybe even impossible to monitor if they are strictly doing office-related tasks during their 9 to 5. Moreover, I think for group workload, I think that we can still be lenient on the working hours for as long as every member of the group assigned for a specific group work agrees on the working hours of their group. Completion of the work on or before the deadlines also applies.
Shall we move to allow flexible working hours? Are there any comments on this?
If we are to allow the flexible working hours, how are we to quantify the hours our employees have put in? Since there are no more time ins and outs, are we to pay our employees their full salary even if they didn't, strictly speaking, put in 8 hours of work?
What about reducing work hours? We can pay our employees the same hour rate, and we just have to reduce their working hours.
If there are reduced work hours, how about the deadlines? Will we just always adjust the set deadline to a later date to accommodate the reduced working hours?
I don't think that's necessary. We can pursue a rotation of employees so that even if each employee's work hour is reduced, the same work is still done because the next employee can continue what the previous employee did.
I agree. That is an effective way to beat the deadline while still keeping our employees' welfare as a priority. Flexible, reduced working hours with rotation of employees.
Okay, thank you. All your suggestions are now recorded.
These are all brilliant ideas. I must say so myself. However, these are only applicable to essential employees who can run their work hours. How about the non essential employees who cannot run their hours because of the nature of the work they do for the company?
As much as we want to consider all of our employees' welfare, we need to look at this situation realistically. I think that we need to put their employment on a floating status as of the moment. It is not feasible to continue paying them if they cannot find their work hours.
Even if I want to disagree, this is true. We can, however, still put their welfare in mind by releasing their 13th month pay early. This can be done in full or prorated.
Surely, we need to make a policy on who is eligible for this.
What about only the non-essential employees who have been in the company for at least a year? Then let them have a choice to receive it in full or prorate it into 3 months, the same duration on how long the company will lend the tablets to essential employees.
That's settled then. If our treasurer believes that's feasible, does anyone have more strategies or concerns in mind?
How about the concerns of those employees working overtime? There have been reviews that working from domestic is more taxing and stressful, with operating hours longer in some instances. We need to make certain that hard work standards remain reputable in spite of PCQ.
Yes, the law provides that all working conditions, such as compensable work hours, overtime, rest days, entitlement to leave benefits, as well as social welfare benefits, should not be less than a minimum of their labor standards.
In that case, we'll surely pay each employee's hard work because after all, This company wouldn't be successful without the loyalty of each employee. So, are there still any concerns?
I think there are no more concerns, sir.
Okay, now that we've come to an agreement as to how to conduct our work operations, we still have the matter of how we're going to conduct our business to the consumers amidst the pandemic.
Yes, since the quarantine has affected our consumers' priorities, we need to come up with a strategy on how our provided services may remain relevant.
Considering that many people have been forced to stay home, many businesses around the world have had their income diminishing as less and less people have been accessed to engage in their services or produces. If we cannot find a way to maintain relevancy within the market, we too will lose a considerable amount of profit, even as we resume internal operations.
Understandably, we can't expect ourselves to be exempt from this possibility as well. So it's important for us to construct a plan of approach on finding an effective solution for conducting business with our customers, despite the impositions that the pandemic has brought about.
Rather than considering retaining our modus operandi, I believe it's imperative now more than ever to pinpoint and prioritize focusing our production on the exact services we can continue to push forward to our consumers despite the limitations that the quarantine maybe have placed upon them. Logically, what is important for us to provide them is the service which they would have the greatest access to and will remain relevant even in the face of quarantine.
Did we get a consensus on whether or not an approach like this would be feasible to implement given the current situation?
It seems that the risk of a profit loss is high, but this is a situation almost every company faces and needs to adapt to. We should consider more loss prevention and sales strategies to implement as to keep our business from sustaining too many losses.
Okay, I'll be sure to add this discussion onto a future agenda. Moving on, I don't think there are any more topics that were left undiscussed. Should we wrap up this meeting?
If there are no topics to be discussed further for today, allow me to wrap this up. As the Chief Executive, I'll check on every member of the board on the progress of their tasks regularly. And please don't hesitate to call me or my secretary when you have inquiries about any task that is given to you while you work from home. Miss Secretary, can you present us with the minutes of the meeting before we adjourn this meeting?
Okay. These are the details that have been finalized in this meeting. The company will adopt hybrid arrangements by pairing work from home arrangements with reduced work days or work hours, rotation programs, and temporary suspensions for non-essential employees in order to address the company's business needs while at the same time adopting such alternative work arrangements available in order to cushion or mitigate the effect of the loss of income of the employees. Furthermore, the company will distribute tablets with Zoom pre-installed and a sponsored internet connection for 3 months. Lastly, the 13th month pay of non-essential employees will be distributed in full or prorated. The next meeting will focus on the policies and agreements regarding the tablet distribution.
That concludes our meeting agenda for today. Thank you for your participation and cooperation. The meeting is now adjourned.
With this meeting, I learned that everyone should be given the spotlight to speak, even if a person is the head of the committee or just a member of the board. He or she should be given the opportunity to speak and contribute to the meeting's agenda. In the end, it is for the benefit of the whole company and not just for the high positions. We might have done it virtually, but it's the same when having a team meeting in a closed room.
This team meeting made me realize that with each voices being heard, any goals can be possible despite the barriers that can occur Communicating with every member about their concerns, ideas, and plans creates unity that is surely needed by any company. This meeting showed that respect should be given regardless of the position a person has.
The meeting showed me that success is achieved by understanding the different positions of everyone around you and finding a way to create meaningful solutions to the problems you're facing, taking into account the different insights and inputs everyone may provide. Each person in the company has a role to play, and their contribution in the field, combined with that of the others, will allow the company as a whole to function in a healthy manner.
Throughout the team meeting, we learned to consider ideas and suggestions that would further improve ourselves. Cooperating with your team is indeed challenging, but it boosts your skills in communication in order to become an effective speaker and somehow an effective leader. With that, we are training ourselves not to be just good listeners, but also a significant member of the team who is always ready to propose ideas and just suggestions that are noteworthy and will be useful in the future.
The team meeting shows the importance of collaboration in decision making. Doing so, we are able to avoid bias because there are other minds within the meeting that possibly have a different perspective on the matter at hand. Moreover, it allows a team to function not solely on the ideas of the leader, but on the ideas of the team as a whole. All members are able to communicate their thoughts and possibly enact it within the team.
In this team meeting, I am reminded of the importance of collaboration, regardless of online or live presence, to the company's growth. Netiquettes were also observed. Everyone has an opportunity to exercise their respective responsibilities or roles in the company while developing accountability to one another. It saves a lot of time to have everyone gathered in a room to discuss a certain matter rather than communicating through messages or emails.